Today's podcast is brought to you by a company who we have been using for years and takes up significant shelf space inside of our own kitchen. Biosteel Sports Nutrition.
It was a product created out of necessity 8 years ago and is trusted by athletes like Connor McDavid, Tyler Seguin, Brooke Henderson, Rosie MacLennan, and Andrew Wiggins.
They're really a leader in sports drinks for everyone from professional athletes to everyday champions.
Understand something, guys. Nothing worth ever having in this world comes easy.
Do what these champions doing if you're going to be a champion.
You control your outcome.
Who am I?
I'm a champion.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Biosteel Breakdown. I'm your host, Sylvie, with my co-host,
Adrian. I like that. I like when you do the intro. That's a fun switch up. Now I'm thrown off. I don't even know where to start.
What are we breaking down today?
Welcome back, guys. We're breaking down a fictional situation. We were out at how did this come about? Yeah, I was at a party, an event, let's call it, not a party. And a person there was talking about putting in a home gym, and they were asking what they should get. And then the question came up, if you could only do 3 exercises for the rest of your life, what would they be? And so that is today's Biosteel Breakdown. If I could only pick 3 exercises for all of you to do forever and ever, these are the 3 that I would pick. And they're the 3
bang
that
for your buck.
There you go. The 3 I would pick because I think they're the best bang for your buck. Exactly. I feel like
I stole your line.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say it.
I feel like this is one of those stranded on an island kind of questions.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Okay, 3 exercises.
What are they?
Number 1, rear foot elevated split squats.
Oh.
Or Bulgarian.
Very specific.
Or Bulgarian split squats. And I think the second or third article that I ever wrote when we started Championship Lifestyle was why people needed to do more single leg training and why they needed to do rear foot elevated split squats. And so 2 years later, or whatever, a year and a half later, I'm not sure, 2 years later, I think, I still stand by it. That's the number 1 exercise. It is an unbelievable exercise for developing lower body strength, stability through the hip, through the knee. It's great for injury prevention. It's great mobility. And so if you're not familiar with the exercise, it is where you are standing on one leg and your other leg is up on the bench or some sort of split squat stand. And then you are going down into a combination squat lunge position. If you don't know, click below. We've got rear foot elevated link right there that you can check out. And you can get freakishly strong on one leg while staying really safe. So the stress on your back is significantly lower than it would be in a traditional squat or a deadlift. And so as a result, my lower body pick for the rest of time, rear foot elevated.
All right.
Number 2. My second exercise would have to be some sort of upper body exercise to complement the lower body. So I am going to go with the pull-up. And I'm going to put a little caveat on it. If you have a shoulder issue, then you could substitute this with an inverted row. You could change pull-up for inverted row. But I would say the pull-up is the godfather of upper body pulling exercises. And I think a lot of times we get away from doing things with our back and we press everything. We love to bench press. We love to shoulder press. We just love to operate in front of our body, and we need to do more for the back. And people that are good at pull-ups are outrageously shredded on the whole, right? And so my upper body exercise would be definitely the pull-up, and specifically from a neutral grip position. So where your palms are facing each other, they're not supinated or pronated. It's safer for the shoulders, safer on the elbows, a little bit healthier, a little bit easier to do. So awesome upper body pulling exercise. It incorporates the entire system, and you can play with your foot positioning to get a little bit more core emphasis. You can play with your tempos. You can do them assisted or non-assisted. You can just change them in a bunch of different ways to get some awesome training benefits. So my second exercise is the pull-up.
Awesome.
And then number 3 on the island, last exercise ever, is farmer's carry. And so this one is, I think, overlooked by the general population, but everyone that works in strength and conditioning really loves this exercise, and for good reason. So farmer's carry is exactly what it sounds like, or farmer's walk. You pick up 2 heavy items, you typically dumbbells, like a farmer would, and you carry them a distance, and then you put them down, and then you pick them up, and then you do it again. So it's unbelievable for grip strength. We've talked about grip strength ad nauseum on this podcast, so I won't mention it again. It's great for postural control and postural development. So you're forced to pull your shoulder blades back. You're forced to stand upright. It's unbelievable for your core. It's like doing a walking plank. And every single time you pick it up, you have to do a deadlift. So a little bit extra in there. So those would be my 3 exercises that you should incorporate in your program if you're not already. And if you could only do 3 for the rest of your life, that would be it. Rear foot elevated, pull-ups, farmer's carry.
Awesome.
I've rambled long enough. Do you have any add-ons?
I do.
Oh, you disagree?
I don't disagree. I love those 3 exercises.
First, you took my spot at the beginning, and now you're disagreeing. It's fine.
No, I don't disagree. I think
whatever.
I definitely am a pull-up queen.
Welcome to the Sylvie Tatro breakdown.
I definitely, I love all 3 of those exercises and incorporate them in my training programs. I love the kettlebell swing.
Okay.
I think if there was one lower body exercise that I could do for the rest of my life, it would probably be a kettlebell swing.
Okay.
The reason being is because
you look super sweet doing it.
Well, you look super sweet, but it creates that hinge pattern. So like a posterior chain, back of your body, power. And then also it is a lot of core, a lot of coordination. So I do love the kettlebell swing. I don't know if I'd choose it over rear foot elevated. I think the rear foot elevated is a little bit more practical for building strength, but yeah. And then obviously the Turkish get up, which...
What do they call it in Turkey?
Maybe just a get up.
That was a terrible joke. I'm sorry.
But if you haven't checked out the bucket challenge, which we are going to be doing this week as well. So you need to check that out.
The Turkish get-up is a really complicated exercise, but it's also a really cool one because it combines so many different aspects. You have to have mobility and stability through every movement on the lift. So it can take a little bit longer to learn. I think that's why people get they get intimidated by it.
It's more complicated.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do learn it, it's an unbelievable exercise, and you should be aiming for half your body weight in one hand. So
wow.
I would agree with that. Yeah, that's the call out. If you can do half your body weight in one hand on a Turkish get-up, post that video and tag us in it, and let's
and also try with a shoe first.
Exactly, but
if
progress,
you can balance a shoe. Yeah, everyone goes out. I did half my body weight, and
I separated my shoulder and got a concussion.
No,
Excellent.
but start with a shoe. That's how you know if you have even just you have to slow down. You have to focus on every single part of it. You have to be in the process of it. So I think that's a great exercise as well. A little bit of a rant, but
awesome. So yeah, those are the 3+2 on our end the world exercises. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want more, please subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, on YouTube. Everywhere you can find a podcast, we're there. Also some video content as well for you guys. Make sure you head over to biosteel.com. They sponsor this segment, and we're very thankful to have them on board with us. Code word:
Champ Lifestyle, capital C, capital L. And we want to hear what your 3 exercises would be. Tag us.
Awesome, guys. Thank you again, and check back next week for some brand new content.